Hi, Mark from Skywagon University. We're heading up Highway 50 from Placerville to Reno. Last Reno Air Races, and Sunday, last day of Reno Air Races. We're taking a propeller up there, dropping it off in the truck, and we're going to be in the pits, looking around some of the race planes, talking to some of the people up there. Hi, this is Mark from Skywagon University, and we're up at the Reno Air Races in the Reno Air Races hangar. And I'm talking to Austin, and I know nothing about these planes and I know nothing about the races, but I'm just here, and Austin's going to tell us about how he flew this yesterday and won.
Yes.
So what class were you in?
We're racing the Formula 1 class, and we were flying in the silver heat. So yesterday we ended up with first in the silver heat.
Nice. Yes. And what plane?
This plane right here, Cheap Thrills.
What's the engine in?
The engine is, we all have to run on O200s, Continental O200s.
Really?
Yep. So it's pretty competitive class.
O200s? That's in a 150? Yeah,
that's what the little engine you find in a 150 is what we're running.
How many horsepower are you getting out of that?
We're pushing over 100. By the time we start tweaking them, they're probably 120, 130 maybe.
God, I had no idea I had an O200 in it.
Yeah.
And what's a winning speed?
The gold guys are starting to push 230 on the course, 240, so they're getting up there. We averaged about 200 on our lap.
Is that miles an hour?
That's miles per hour.
Yep. 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And what does it weigh?
This plane is just over, it's right about 600, so we're about 605.
So 150 weighs, what, 1,400?
Yeah, so
it's less than half.
Yeah, so we're less than half.
So you get in it and you double its weight?
Pretty much.
Wow,
pretty much you got to put them on.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much room in there.
And what's it, I mean, I see it's obviously a tail dragger. What's its landing speed? I mean, are they twitchy?
They're pretty twitchy, they're short, so we come over the numbers landing about 115. We'll come over the numbers. So.
115 miles an hour?
Yeah, so we don't really want to get them under 100 at all. So.
And what's the stall speed?
Stall speed, it'll stall.
99?
I think it's closer to about 85, 90.
Okay. So it stalls at the 150's cruise speed?
Yeah, pretty much. There's not much wing here, there's only about 15 feet, so it's a little bull, you got to keep it going.
What's that square footage?
The square footage, I don't know, it's 15 feet long.
It's tiny.
Yeah, it's small.
Excellent. What, just while we're at the front like this, what's the lifespan of it, working that hard?
We've gotten a couple years out of them, running them, so this one's we're not pushing too hard, so this one, it's fine for a while.
But they won't go to 1,700 hours?
No, we'll probably start checking on it after quite a bit before that if we're really pushing it. So
well, I'm just amazed it's got an O200 in it. That's great. So okay, it's obviously small. Tell us about how you do it.
It's small and it's crammed. Yeah, there's not much wiggle room in there. You pretty much got to put it on. So once you get in there, your knees are up on the spar, and you got the little stick between your knees, and
parachute on the back.
Parachute on the back, and a little bit of a butt cushion to get you up there. But that's about it.
So if you were racing and there was an issue, is there enough speed to get it to altitude to get out?
Yeah. So when we're running the course, we're doing about 200, and if something happens, we do a rapid ascend real quick. We'll get up to an altitude that we can get and get the airspeed down to about 140, 120. That's about our best cruise with the engine out. So get up there as quick as we can, get our speed where we want it, and point the nose down and make a quick decision on where we're going. So
okay, wow.
We got a little bit of time, but these things they come down pretty quick.
Yeah, I bet they do. How much fuel do you take to the race?
When we're racing, we run a minimum of 5 gallons. We have to have 5 in it. So
it's 5, and then so you're probably carrying what, a total of?
We only put 5 in it.
You only put 5 in it?
Yeah. So our minimum is 5.
So it's one little red can?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cheap to own?
Yeah. Yeah, no, very fuel efficient little airplane.
Yeah. And what year is this? Is this like a...
This one was actually built in 2001.
2001, okay.
Yeah.
Is it the first win?
This is the first time this plane's raced.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay,
This
well,
plane's never raced before.
That worked.
Yeah, it worked out really good.
Yeah.
So
what do you get for winning that?
Me, nothing. The owner will get a little prize money, but other than that, I just get bragging rights.
You get the fame and fortune.
I get the bragging rights.
Yeah, brilliant.
So.
All right, well, it's been great. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you
for taking the time.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Austin. So Drew is going to talk us around this plane, tell us what it is, what it does, what the engine is, and have a closer look at the engine.
So this is a CASSET 3. Obviously very popular plane. A lot of these planes here are CASSETs. Run a Continental 0200. Right? Same engine everybody's running. You know, we'll have 200 cubic inches, 4 cylinders.
Are you all about the same horsepower?
More or less. Some people, I mean, there are limitations on what we can do to the engine, right? Limitations on how big of a camshaft we can put in. Can't raise compression, you know, all these rules to keep it somewhat fair.
So that's exactly the same cylinder that would be on a Cessna 150?
Correct. Same cylinder. Some people get into doing a little port polishing and stuff like that. This one happens to have some of that stuff done to it. So this is what we would consider a race engine. Carbon fiber, revved up composites prop.
Fixed pitch?
Fixed pitch, all fixed pitch. Turns about 3950 running around the racetrack.
What?
Now, obviously these engines were never designed to do that. Yeah. In a 150, I think your red line's 2700. Right. So we're well exceeding that.
So nearly double.
Yeah. We're more. Yeah, we are doing a lot. So we're asking a lot of them.
So but doesn't the tip get supersonic, or is that because it's short?
You've got such a short prop on there, you're not quite getting to that. But you know, if you started getting longer, you know, we would run into those issues. We don't have that problem. You know, like a T6. Here those things go around and they're breaking the sound barrier with their tips all the time. So this one is modified with a carbon front cowling on it, back to about the back of the wing. Just a little smoother through the air and, you know, better lines than, say, a stock one like over there, which is also one of our planes. It still runs the stock slab wing CASSET. People call them slab wing or a slabby. The only modification of this wing is we have winglets on the end of it. The same wing is sitting right there, just with a little winglet on the end.
So that's getting ready to roll vortices drag.
Correct. So it's just a little smoother than a stock one, not crazy. This one has a little bit bigger tail on it, a little taller tail, which gives you a little more rudder authority and stuff like that than a stock one. Stock one has a very short tail. It's a little less directionally stable, if you will.
Tiny little tail.
So this did around the pylons 202 miles an hour.
How many G's is that in the turn?
In the turns, you're pulling 1.5, 2 G's if you're pulling really hard. So it just depends on, you set your roll, and then you start pulling back on the stick to get your turn. If you set your roll too late and you're blowing past the turn, then you're going to pull really hard. You're going to pull really hard to make...
And lose speed.
Yes, and lose speed. So there's the blend of a very wide line where you carry not too many G's through the turns, but the wider you go, the longer your course is. Further you're flying, right?
You could be overtaking the guy with the high G who's inside you, who's losing speed.
You could. So we almost always pass high and on the outside. That's how you do it. So you can see them because you roll up high on them and you're looking down your wing at the guy inside of you. It is your responsibility as the plane overtaking someone to not hit that plane. They fly their line, they do whatever, and I've been passed plenty of times, so I know. I just fly my line. That is what it is. And the guy, I just have to trust that the other pilots that are out there with me, they don't want to hit me any more than I want them to hit me. You know, so
what's your ground window? What's your envelope of the altitude where you go around?
I mean, we're pretty low. I mean, most of the time, top of the pylons is 50 feet, and plenty of times you pass them at what I would consider to be about 60 feet. I mean, you're staring down and you can see the people's eyes standing on the ground that are watching the pylons.
So 40 feet off the ground and 200 miles an hour?
50, 60 feet. 200 miles an hour, 200 plus, because in the straights you accelerate to, this was probably getting up to 220 in straights, and then you lose a bunch in the turns.
How do you manage the throttle? Are you just on the throttle?
When we do 10 seconds to start, you push it in and lock it forward.
Full power.
Yep. It's all the way forward.
Do they make it? Do they blow up ever?
They will. Yeah,
I can imagine.
they can. I mean, years past, I've seen guys changing motors out and stuff between heat races because they will, you know, once again, we're asking an engine that was only designed to turn 2,700 to turn almost 4,000 RPM.
It was designed in 1950.
Exactly, that, you know, so yes, they will break. And do you think that, you know, a TBO on a Cessna 150 motor is, say, 1,800 hours, 2,000 hours? This would never go that long.
No. So is 100 hours done?
It depends. You know, we start looking for things in the oil, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This engine and that engine are very similar. They are running the best they've ever ran. So it's kind of a toss-up. Do you take apart and look at it, or do you just keep it the way it is because it's running perfect?
Excellent. Very interesting.
Yep.
So thanks very much.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, no problem.
Interesting planes.
Yep.
So yeah, this was Mark at Skywagon University, and just a quick visit to the Reno Air Races with a bit of a video on the way in, the way out, and talking to some of the plane owners. We didn't get too into it with too involved. We were just having a fun day out, but we thought we'd give you at least what we saw. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like it. We have many more videos on the website that aren't sort of little quick ones like this from Reno. They're more about aircraft year, make, model, type. So subscribe to that if you like it, and click on the bell underneath. Thanks very much.